I don't remember going to the Queen Theater when I was young. I suppose this is the reason that this stately old building at the corner of Fifth and Market Street has always held such a fascination for me. At one time, though, I am told, it was quite a place. The auditorium and balcony could accommodate 2,000 people, and the 64-foot stage could be clearly seen from anywhere in the house. A beautifully etched golden dome centered the room and gave the theater a palace-like appearance. There were exquisite hand-painted murals depicting science and the arts, and elegant tapestry designs that were illuminated by beautifully glittering chandeliers. The Queen would feature two ample ballrooms on the upper floors that were situated in such a way that one orchestra could provide music to both rooms. It opened in 1915 with all the sparkle and glamour of a Hollywood premiere as moviegoers lined up to view the new film War Bride. At that time, Wilmington enjoyed a rich legacy of beautifully designed movie theaters, movie palaces as they were called. They were scattered all over the city, with many of the more fashionable movie houses located right on Market Street. By the time I came along, most of these were gone or had closed up. The 50s and 60s were still a good time to go to the movies downtown. It's just that the old theaters were beginning to thin out. The Arcadia, just 2 doors from the Queen, was closed. The Bijou and Pickwick were distant memories, and the Majestic, Victoria, and Garrick had been razed to make way for new businesses. The Ritz on Delaware Avenue was one of our favorites, until it was run over by I-95 in 1962. The stately Grand, by the mid-60s, was at best a second-run theater, relegated to Saturday matinees and Western serials, and the Loews Aldine, just 2 doors away, wasn't far behind. Across the street, the town was showing foreign films, but ended its run in 1967. And the Rialto? This theater had a distinctive clientele, offering art films. I have to admit that I snuck in there once. This wasn't the kind of art that I learned about in Warner Junior High. My friend Neil and I had to hustle too, making the 6-block run back to the Loews without appearing too disheveled so that my mother wouldn't be suspicious. She thought we'd planned to see the Magnificent Seven. Those grand old theaters, the ones that were left, by this time had become awkward and cumbersome, appearing like the once famous racehorse, no longer a graceful champion, and who, in her old age, was consigned to ferrying young children around a small circular track at the county fair. The Warner Theater came down in 1977, and finally the good old Rialto, one of the city's oldest theaters, burned in 1984, a fitting retribution, no doubt, for its deviant offerings. But the Queen was different somehow. It closed in April of 1959, just 2 months after the crash of the American Pie took the lives of Buddy Holly, J.P. Richardson, and Richie Valenzuela. The doors closed on a Sunday night, not with a large fanfare and glittering lights, just a showing of a second-rate horror movie with Vincent Price. After 45 years of entertainment, it was gone, consigned to the place where all good memories go. But not gone, really. Maybe she was just waiting. The theater was sealed up, and except for a few business ventures that were housed in its storefronts, the Queen would sit largely untouched for more than half a century, quietly suspended in time when all that was around it would become refined and changed so many times. She waded through the mass exodus from the city to this new frontier that we knew only as the suburbs, when moviegoers preferred the modern comforts of the newer, less fashionable theaters at the malls and shopping centers. Now most of these are gone, and no one writes about them. I never trusted the suburbs. Queen waited past the advent of this new and popular medium called television, that in order to compete with the big screen would soon be making its own movies made for TV. No one writes about these either. No, the Queen has been patient, and I suppose that this is what has intrigued me so about this venerable old theater. I've walked past it many times over the years, and I have to confess that I've even looked for an open door or window, any opening that might give me a glimpse of what it once was. Inside, the old theater was rotting away, with hanging dilapidated tapestry and dust-covered rusted old seats. She lingered there in quiet expectation, hoping again for the sound of people filing in, holding their 25-cent ticket stubs. The smell of hot buttered popcorn and the nervous chatter, the quiet sound that always precedes the beginning of the show, and of course a Warner Brothers cartoon. As a realist, I understand the value of change and why it is a good thing that the new must replace the old. As an historian, though, I find I am caught up in a delightful sense of intrigue and wonderment to explore the things that once were and sadly will never be again. But the Queen is no longer waiting. No, her time has come, and the old girl is getting a new due. She's been stripped down to her pantaloons and is being rebuilt into what I envision as an elegant showpiece at Fifth and Market. The Queen, when it is completed in 2011, will showcase live entertainment and good food and who knows, maybe even a movie now and then. I am excited to see this new venture, and isn't there a bit of pleasant irony to it all? One of the very reasons that the Queen could no longer compete more than half a century ago is now making it so attractive again to modern audiences. Hopefully the new Queen, like the Grand, will reprise some of the splendor and magnificence of this old building and bring back a glimpse, just a glimpse of that wonderful age of entertainment when going to the theater meant more than just watching the show.